Hey y'all, what's up? It's Kels the Warrior. I'm back finally with a video. And it's going to be brief. As you can see, the setup is just laid back because I keep telling myself I don't have time after work to set up the video and do all of that. So this was on my mind, so I'm just going to put it out there. And I want to know what you guys think about segregation. Do you think that segregation was a good thing and that maybe we should go back to segregation, or should we stay integrated? Now, my stance on that is that growing up as a child, I would hear older people say that segregation was the worst thing that happened to black people. And me being young, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. We get to play with the white kids and we get to go into the white stores and blah, 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 blah. But now that I'm older and the world has turned and changed, but did it change? But anyway, now that I'm older, I see what they were talking about, and I see what they mean when they say that maybe we should have stayed segregated as a people. Because growing up, I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 70s, and we had black stores, black businesses. It wasn't until we really started to integrate and we thought that the white people's stores and the white people's businesses were better that we stopped going to our black owned businesses, which ultimately shut them down, and now we have little to none. So my point in asking the question is, had we stayed segregated, do you think that we would be further ahead? Would we still own our businesses? Would we have our banks? Would we have our schools? Was integration the best move for black people? Now, am I saying that segregation should be legal and to the point where we can't communicate with white people? We can't talk to, befriend, marry, have any kind of relationship with white people, or we still have to sit in certain areas, certain sections that's made only for blacks? No, that's definitely not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we should maybe have our own community of sorts so that we can grow within ourselves, that we can make our dollar strong, because basically it's black people that's spending a lot of the money in these Asian businesses, these Arab businesses. And I figure, why shouldn't we have our own? Why is it that we can't have black teachers? My 27-year-old son asked me the question, what grade was I in when I had my first male black teacher, excluding the PE teacher? And once he excluded the PE teacher, who I had in elementary school, I had to really think about it. I had a black female teacher in kindergarten. I had a black female teacher in 3rd grade. But I didn't have a black male teacher until I got in the 7th grade, and that was my science teacher. Prior to that, the black male was the PE teacher and coincidentally the principal of the elementary school. But why is that? So my son said, well, maybe it's because of all of the sexual abuse and sexual assault allegations being put on men. I was like, back then we didn't have those. Those were not coming out. Of course, as we know today, though we did have instances of those things occurring, but they weren't coming out. So if that was the case, then we shouldn't have had any male teachers. Schools should have been ran by females. So again, it was like, no, they just didn't want black males to be that educated and to be in positions such as that. But had we stayed segregated, we wouldn't have had no choice but to have black teachers. So I'm just saying, it's just a question that I want to throw out there. Do you think that we should be segregated? And of course it's a choice, but yeah, I honestly think that we should be segregated to a certain extent so that we can start to rebuild what has been taken from us, rebuild collectively as a community, and not just you have yours, I'm not going to worry about you. Because the grand scheme of things, when you get yours, you have to look back and pull the next one up. You can't just get yours and keep running, because it's so many people that you're leaving behind. Now, I'm not saying to try to pull those up who are resistant and that you're going to risk losing everything that you have. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is reach back and try to help those who want the help, to bring them up so that we can start moving up and forward. So that's all I wanted to say. Just let me hear your thoughts on whether or not you think the black community should, or the black and white community should, go back to segregation. And when I say black and white, I only say black and white because those are the two races that are prominent in all discussions. But I mean white and minorities, whether or not you consider yourself to be a minority, then I'm talking about you. But if you consider yourself to be white, then you're on the white side. But should there be segregation amongst whites and others? Let me know what you think. Bye.